All right, welcome back to the channel. Max Tornow here with Nikita Gunkovic, our head sales coach. And in this video, we'll be talking about why you should not be starting with a podcast. Oh boy, the whackness is already coming through. So basically, let's look at it like this. If you want to start a successful online coaching business, and you might even say like, oh, I want to build a brand around that and I want to make money, then do not start with a podcast. Completely regard what everybody is talking about nowadays. Pay attention to this video because it can save you a lot of pain, a lot of time, a lot of energy wasted, a lot of money wasted. Pay attention now. Let's get started.
Have you ever wondered whether there's more to life than a boring dead-end 9-to-5 job? Have you ever dreamed about breaking free, traveling the world, making good money, and just enjoying life? No more office dress code, no morning commute, no boss. This channel is for you, so here's to your freedom.
All right, so Nikita, you and I, we've been talking about this quite a lot off camera. It's like everybody nowadays goes for like the latest trend, and it's so funny because I feel like in the age of social media and whatnot, it's like there's a new trend every goddamn month. Like, oh, voice is the new thing.
You're not on TikTok yet?
Yeah, TikTok, yeah, that's the next thing. Like, TikTok, like, get on TikTok. Like, all these new fancy apps and social media stuff, like, it's all nice to have, and it can serve as an amplifier of your current business, but it's not a good way to start. Okay, what is a good way to start? By adhering to the basics of business, the basics that have always been around for decades, meaning understanding who you're selling to, understand basic level sales and marketing, build up a proper stream of income that you can that is not dependent on luck, like something that just consistently works. And then from there you can go and say, create a YouTube channel like us now, create a podcast, and so on and so forth.
Exactly. I mean, you don't even, even if you start a podcast, what will we even talk about?
Yeah.
What will we even talk about? Of course, probably have something to share, but we at this point, of course, if we only start now having a podcast, of course, we have something to share. We have a whole journey to share, and you know what your clients want, what they need, you already have maybe happy clients already, and yeah, of course, it's a great way to start a podcast later on.
Exactly, because you just mentioned that we just started our podcast, meaning we can do that. Why? Because we're making several $1 million a year, okay? Like, yes, we're making literally multiple $1 million a year. Now we're like, people know us, people know our niche, people know what we stand for. Now let's create a podcast to just kind of build a little bit deeper of a relationship with our existing clients as well as with our potential clients, right? Including people watching us on YouTube. Check our podcast out. It's really great. freedombusinessmentoring.com/podcast and see why we're starting now with the podcast and why it's not a good idea for you to start. Also, if you feel like our YouTube content is a little too flat, you want to go more in depth, you want to have more specifics from us, then the podcast is for you. That's why we started it. Okay, so again, freedombusinessmentoring.com/podcast. We're also going to put a link down
and it's funnier.
And it's much funnier, yeah. It's a little bit more behind the scenes. We're a little bit more nonchalant with what we talk about. Definitely check it out. We've gotten really good feedback actually about that. Like I said, link in the description. Check out our podcast. And other than that, yeah, the thing is like I said, like everybody's jumping like, oh, I gotta do the podcast and so on and so forth. And like you said, people don't even know what what do you know what you want to talk about, right? And then you have people like Gary Vee who say, like, just talk about whatever feels right and, just find your inner voice. Woo. Okay, great. Do that, okay? Do that. Invest months and years of your time into this goddamn podcast so you can build a following and build a brand. And at the same time, you're not making money. You're wasting your time. You're wasting energy. And even then, once you say like, okay, now I have 1,000 to 10,000 followers on my podcast. Now I'm going to hit them with a product. And in 90% of cases, we know that because these kind of people then come to us for help. 90% of cases, you're gonna miss your target audience because at that point, you don't know what your target audience wants, right? So forget about building a brand, a YouTube channel, a podcast before you're making at least 10,000 very consistently a month. Then you can start thinking about implementing small social media stuff, a little bit of stuff on YouTube, a little bit of stuff on Instagram or Facebook, but not even think about a brand. And then once you're banking in a couple mil a year, that is where a podcast really helps.
Exactly, it's amazing then to multiply your business. But before that, all right, cool. Don't waste your time on a podcast, because the time that you invest on a podcast, on thinking about the content, thinking about maybe guest speakers, thinking about marketing it, whatever. It's not worth it. In the meanwhile, you can do something way better, something way more better for your business, which is obviously way more lucrative, which is better for your clients. You can help more people, reach more people, bring real transformation to people, and not spend your time with something where people most likely won't even listen to.
Yeah, and get paid while you're doing that. That's the wonderful thing. I love how you said, like, it's multiplying your business, right? Like, if you make zero money, you can multiply it 3 times, 5 times, 1,000 times. It's still gonna be zero, okay? Basic level math. If you don't believe me, 0 times 3 is still 0. Google it. I recommend you Google it. Now the thing is, and I love what you said there, the fact that most people try to build a podcast and then try to sell, and then they have to understand what type of content they have to build and stuff like that. Like, do you think we're writing our videos or we're writing the topics on our podcast? No, we don't. Because at this point, we know our target audience so well that I'm literally gonna tell the camera team, hey, set up the shot here real quick with Nikita and me, press the record button, and off we go. So even the content creation itself is zero for us. It's like, I can do this in my sleep. You can wake me up at 4 a.m. in the morning and we can just shoot. Because we know what we're doing so well, because we've understood our target audience very, very thoroughly. We continue to make it better. We serve people, we're getting paid, and how much more fun is it to create content now with you and I, where we're banking money left and right, we have clients that are happy. Like, I don't need this like, this is our spare time. This is literally your spare time. Like, you're not talking to any clients right now, so we're like, oh, hey, let's go shoot content. How easy will it be for you if you're already making $10,000 a month and more, and you don't need to convert anything? You're literally shooting content because you want to share epic stuff, epic knowledge, So again, like, we kind of get sidetracked here. Step 1, get to know your target audience, find out what keeps them up awake at night, find out what their problem is, find out what their ideal end situation is in that niche that you can help them. And then most importantly, figure out more about them, all right? Figure out more about them, and then also allow yourself to get your first clients. People often say, like, oh, I'm not ready yet, I'm not sure if I can ask for money, etc. But you have to. It is your responsibility to start selling. Why? Because if you would just give out stuff for free, number one, your clients won't execute. Nobody executes from free content. We know that because 99.9% don't execute from our YouTube videos. They execute when they become our clients. And also for you, right? How much bought in are you going to be when you teach someone for free? And how much are you going to be bought in if you teach someone who pays you $2K? What do you usually tell people that are scared? Because this is what Nikita does. You're helping our clients with their sales issues. You're helping them get from zero to making their first money, making the first sales. What do you usually tell people who say they're not ready?
Yeah, I just tell them, of course, you can't be ready. Yeah, for sure, you were also not ready when you got your first clients. Of course, it's always weird in the first moments to get paid for something. But of course, you have to start, and we have to start obviously right away. Right away. Don't waste too much time on that, because of course, you also grow a lot together with your clients. Right, of course, I guess you also were not as good with your first,
of course not, hell no,
clients as with the last one, right?
Yeah.
And of course, you have to start somewhere, and because it's a lot of learning by doing, and think about with the knowledge that you already have. Imagine like a beginner that has no idea about this topic. What you could tell the person? What kind of world you could open to somebody that maybe has no idea about your niche, about fitness, about self-development, about website building, whatever it is in the end. Imagine to a person that has no idea about this topic what you could tell and explain to that person.
Yeah, exactly, 100%. And by the way, we're talking a lot deeper on that, on certain clients' issues and how we're getting our clients from not making money to making money. We're breaking it down in much greater detail on the podcast. Again, what was the URL? freedombusinessmentoring.com/podcast. Check it out. And the thing is, the thing is too, like, you gotta allow yourself to make money, and you gotta realize that money is the oxygen of your life. Okay, now if you want to live in the Amazonian jungle, then maybe not. Okay, then maybe you don't need money. But if you want to live in a city, in somewhere in a house with electricity and internet and food at the grocery store, then you can only get that with money, and nobody's being helped. Nobody is being helped if you're stuck there creating content on a podcast or on a YouTube channel without having the proper financial structure in the background. And this is exactly something that we're helping our clients with. We say, okay, you know what? Because sometimes they come to us and they have all kinds of whack ideas. They're like, I want to create a YouTube channel. And we're like, yo, let's get you to 10K a month first. That's the first milestone. 10K a month is nice to have on the side, you know, banking some extra 10K a month. That's the first milestone. And in order to get there, you need to know what your strengths are, right? Because many times clients come to us and they say they don't even know what they could be coaching, what they could be offering as a service. Know what your strengths are. We'll analyze your strengths. We'll tell you what exact model fits best for you. Get to know your target audience. Research your target audience. Start selling. Right? Start selling slowly but steadily. Hell, if you're super duper insecure and you're like, I'm not sure if I can really help them super well, then give it to them for a lower price and say, yo, you're my first client, I'll give it to you for half a price, right? Make that client super happy. Like you said, you grow alongside with them. You're already getting paid. Client has leverage because they're paying you, so they're executing properly. You can get great testimonials from that. You can get maybe referrals from that, and then slowly but steadily you get to your first 10K a month, and then from there we can see, okay, what works well, what does not work well.
And maybe it's in a podcast, but maybe it's also not.
Exactly. And by the way, if you have a podcast already, don't delete it now, all right? It's nice. If you have it already, to be like, podcast, waste of time. If you have it, it's cool to have. We can leverage that for sure, but don't build it from scratch now. If you like the idea of making money, if you like the idea of becoming free and as an online coach, online service provider, first step is to first make money, get to your first 10K, and then from there, you know, enjoy your freedom and create content such as YouTube and or podcasts or TikTok.
And by the way, as well, if you have your own podcast, your own brand, of course, people will listen to you. So that people will listen to you, of course, you also need some kind of authority, right? And it's kind of course, you can build the authority also with the brand itself, but it will just take a longer time. Yeah, you can obviously build the authority way faster if you already have clients, you have testimonials, you have success stories, and then people, you have the authority basically right away. And it's way easier then. And
that's a great thing. Like, that is what authority really is. People think when they hear authority, like, oh, I need a brand or a certificate or a university degree. No, the real best authority is to have clients that love you.
Yeah.
To have clients that give you testimonials, to have clients that other potential clients can reach out to and like, hey, you know, I want to be coached by this person. How was your experience with them? And they're raging fans, right? I mean, I don't have a business degree. I went to university 10 years ago for studying Latin and English. All right, that's and I didn't finish that, you know. You didn't go to university. I
did for, I think, 1 or 2 months.
Exactly, but you didn't finish it, right? Yeah. So our expertise is we've done it, we've scaled it, we've helped tons of other people do that as well. Like, results speak for themselves, and that's all that people care about. People care about, like, can that person give me results, yes or no? They don't care if you have some schmuck certificate hanging on the wall. They don't care if you have an Instagram check mark on there. People care is like, can that person give me results, yes or no? And that is where all these things come in, such as knowing your strengths, knowing your target audience, researching your target audience, and applying basic sales and marketing. That is all you need, all right? So, and yeah, exactly, that's what we're doing with our clients. Our clients are happy. We can show some testimonials here. It works, all right? It's proven that this is the path to getting success as an online coach, online service provider. And when you also say, this sounds great, I want to become a successful online coach, I want to be free to travel the world, I want to have fun and, you know, help other people, and at the same time, you know, be free enough to do whatever I want, and you can literally jump on a free consultation call either with me directly or with Nikita directly or with an expert from our team. All you have to do in order to do that is click that link down in the description below, right? Click on that link, it brings you to a page, read what's on that page. That's really important information for you to get started. And then at the bottom of that page, you fill out the application, and then you can book the exact date and time where you want us to call you. Call is entirely for free, no extra international costs whatsoever, but you have to be willing to take action, okay? If you're like a dabbler, we don't need that. We don't want to waste your time. We don't want to waste our time. But if you like to see results fast, if you already have a skill and you want to learn how to monetize it, this call is for you. If you don't know what it is that you want to be doing, but you like the idea of being free, this call is free as well. Like I said, we can analyze your strengths. We know we know the market. We know what model fits best for you. And also, if you're already making money, but you want to make it more consistently, you want to scale it with our help, we can help you with that as well. Calls usually fill up very, very fast. We have very limited spots for those. So if the link in the description still works, even if you're watching this video later, then it means we still have a spot open for you. So take action, right? Take advantage of that opportunity to make it happen. You have anything else to say?
Exactly. And if you think you're not ready yet, yeah, in the end, being ready or not is simply just a decision. So yeah, just be ready now, make a decision now to be ready, and yeah, become sensational.
Love it. Become sensational. Talk to you very, very soon on the phone, and GG.